Hey there everybody, welcome to Lost in Games. I am Patrick, and today we're going to do a compare and contrast about Las Vegas and Las Vegas Royale. So, Las Vegas is a little bit of an older game. It's been around for a while. It is I don't want to call it an oldie but a goodie, but it is definitely not a new game. It is a really popular game in the family. It's a game that I can get anyone and everyone to play. There is an expansion that is expensive and hard to find that I've never really picked up, and I guess I never really felt it needed an expansion. When this thing hits the table, everybody plays it. I'll do a little overview of the game here in a moment, but recently it was put out a new version by the same company, Alea. I think I'm pronouncing their name right, Alea. The thing I think most of the people coming to this video looking for is, if I have Las Vegas, should I pick up Las Vegas Royale? And hopefully, I think we're going to do kind of I've already unboxed it, but I do want to show you the different contents in it so you can see the difference between Las Vegas and Las Vegas Royale, and you can decide if you want to upgrade or if you just want to go to the new one. The good news is the base of both games is the same, and so it's really subjective about which one you think looks cooler or looks better. Las Vegas Royale does have a bunch of extra expansions and content. You could do a whole bunch of other things. I'm not sure that adds more to the game or not. It could. It might be your thing, and it also might be kind of a distractionary thing too. There's something nice and pure and easy about Las Vegas, that it can come to the table and everybody loves it and you can play it over and over and over. But on the other hand, if you've played it enough and you're like, I'm looking for more, this adds some more to it as well. So I haven't decided. I'm not going to get rid of, I'm probably going to keep both games, but I'm not going to get rid of Las Vegas. This is smaller, more portable. This one I'm still on the fence about, but why don't we take a look in both games so that you can kind of see and compare and contrast the components, okay? So here we have the classic Las Vegas by Alea. This is one of our family's favorite games. It is a light pickup game that you can play for hours. Every single group I've introduced it to wants to go purchase it. And that is a sign of how good it is. It is always kind of floating near the top of the games when we're looking for something to play. Oh, we've only got a half hour, maybe we could play this game and pick it up. So you can have up to, looks like 5 different groups of players in this. You could probably play more if you really wanted. It might get a little bit wonky. But the gist of the game is that you have 6 casinos. Each casino has a die number associated. Gold Mine has the 1, the Bajazzo has the 2, the Miracle has the 3, the Oasis has the 4, the Sphinx has the 5, and the Show Hall has the 6. Now, do you need to remember those names? No, you don't. You just need to remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the game is played across 4 rounds, and in each round are multiple turns. And attached to each casino is a payout. So you can see here's 80,000 attached to the gold mine or to the 1. You lay these out and you keep laying down from this deck of cards next to each gold mine until you get over 50,000. And so some of them you see have 2, because this one had a 20 and a 30,000. This one had a 70, so I didn't need to add any on. The casinos that only have 1 are only going to have 1 winner. The casinos that have 2, multiple players can win. Whoever does the best will get the higher value, and then the second value. I've never seen having more than 3 cards, but we have had 3 card casinos as well. So what you do on your turn is you pick up your dice and you roll them, and you then sort them very quickly by numbers. So I have a 3, 2 6s, some 2s, and a 5. And what I do is I pick a number, 1 through 6, of the casino, and I take all of the dice of that number and I put them on a casino. And you have to do this at least once, but if you want, you can do it with all of them. You have to at least place 1 die And if you pick like the number 2, I can't just lay 1 2 there. I have to put all of my 2s there. And basically, at the end of the round, whoever has the most dice on a casino is going to get that payout. And for casinos that have 2 payouts, whoever has the most is going to get the first one. Whoever has the second most is going to be the second. Right? So I could do something like this and lay my claim there. However, strategically, that's not a very smart play because other players are going to be out there going and they can kind of pick and choose. And I'm trying to maximize my winnings. So I may just keep some of these and store them, and I'll put them off to the side, and then the other player will go. And they will do the same thing. They will divide it up. I got 2 5s, 2 3s, a 4, and 3 2s. So if I look, the 5s are paying out 70,000, the 1s are paying out 80, the 3s are 50 and 10. The best play would be a 5 just because it's the most expensive. And then I will put them here just to illustrate this point. Not that it's necessarily a good idea. If I put 3 2s on there, it immediately blocks that. And there is no winner right now until somebody has more. And number 1, that's a good way to block opponents, keep them from getting cash. But the really cool thing is when you're playing with another player, let's just say we had a third player in there and they put a 2 down there. If you block this, these are effectively blocked. At the end of the round, this becomes, even though they only have 1, they get it. So there's a lot, it's a surprisingly fun strategy game where you're constantly taking your dice and you re-roll them. So here's 3 5s. So I'm going to try and claim that from them. And because we only got 2 players, I got a good chance of getting that. And I'm going to save this one. And then they're going to come in. And they are going to, oh, now they can block. And why do you want to block? Well, you want to block because you don't want your opponent. At the end of 4 rounds of doing this, everybody adds up all their money and whoever has the most money wins. Right? And so you'll keep playing until you are out of dice. And on that last dice, whoop, he just jumped ahead, which was outstanding. And he has to play, and he's going to try and block, and he doesn't get it, so he goes there. So he blocked there. So in this one, green would get the 80,000. Black would get the 60,000. No one will get the 40 because there isn't a second player there. And here, blue snuck out the 70, but here they lost it. So that's it. You do that 4 times. When you get all done, you're going to have a pile of money in your hand, and you add them all up, and whoever has the most money is the winner of Las Vegas. It's fast, it's easy, it's fun. The production values are perfect for the game. They're not too much, they're not too little. You can set it up in 5 seconds, you can play it in 10 minutes, and it is a great game. I will go so far as to say this is a great game. So the original Las Vegas, great, by Ravensburger and Alea. Pick it up if you can. If now, let's take a look at Las Vegas Royale and see if we can see what the differences are. Not just in components, but also in the game itself, because there are some differences. Okay, so here you have the new version of Las Vegas called Las Vegas Royale. So first thing I'll show you is the box size comparison. Actually, I think the old box is a little bit higher quality. So again, a more minimalist approach. They did this with Castles of Burgundy as well. The box is thin and flimsy. So there you go. Here is the casino setup in Las Vegas Royale. So it's a little bit different. You have a dice tray that you're going to take your dice and you'll roll them in there so that everybody can see them. And then you have the casinos along the edge. And you can basically play exactly the same game. Let me show you the money. The money is also different. Where before we had a nice big card, now we've got a much smaller little card. I gotta tell you, I think I prefer these a little bit better, but these are also American dollars, and so these may be better around the world, but you could do the same thing and place your things there in the casino. You're gonna do the exact same thing. Take your 4s, put them wherever you want, pick them over. It's the same game. Taking a look at the dice themselves. Here's the old Las Vegas dice versus the new ones. The old ones are a little bit bigger and a little bit shinier, and I think that might be a metaphor for this entire game. The old one is just feels like a better made game, but I mean, here you go. You have all of the dice, and here's all the money. Isn't quite as impressive as the other game. Still very playable. The original Las Vegas is getting harder to find. So if you cannot find it and don't want to spend a lot of money for it, which I can understand, this may be the alternative. This is about a $50 game. It's a lot for a pickup game, but you get a lot in this box because not only do you get everything from the original game, but you also get all of these little mini expansions that you can play with. And there looks like to be, there's 8 of these with 2 sides, and every game is a different way you can wager and make money in the game. So not only do you play the way I told you to, but there are extra mini games that you can play to actually spend your dice and try and make some money, making it more of a Vegas feel. Does this add to the game? I don't know. I think it's cool that they have all of these, and that's a lot of additional value. I mean, there's 16 different mini games that you can add on to this thing, and I suppose if you really wanted to go crazy, you could play with all of them and have a Vegas night. But there's something so perfectly encapsulated in the original being just what it is. Maybe it's the fact that we haven't grown tired of it yet, and maybe there will be a time that we will grow tired of it, and we will want additional things to keep us distracted and different mini games for us to explore. I'm just not sure. I've had Las Vegas for a couple of years yet, and I mean, this is a great game. I mean, I might go so far as to say awesome. You're going to get the same game, just different materials and a bunch of expansions, but for some reason, I don't know why, it just doesn't quite excite me as much. Whether it is or it's not, if I did not have this game, I'm going to tell you right now, I would be buying this just for the core game, because it's right there and you can play it and enjoy it. And these should only add additional enjoyment. We just haven't really explored them enough, because when it comes down to it, we end up playing this every time. And if I didn't have that, we would probably be playing this a lot of the time. So there you have it. The money is a little small. It's not as much. The art and design on the game is minimalist. It just doesn't feel like that classic Las Vegas era to me, but hey, what do I know? So, should you go get this game? Well, I will never tell you if you should or shouldn't, but I would say if you can't find Las Vegas, I would go pick up this game. Just for this part of it alone. And the extra money you're paying is going to give you 16 different mini game expansions that you can add on to it. And I'm not sure that that's an extra $25 worth of value, but overall the original game is so fun. We have at least gotten $50 out of that game so far, and I don't see us not playing that in the future. It's one of those games we get out like every 3 months and we play it for like 3 hours straight, and we talk about how much fun it was and the blocking and the dice roll. I mean, it's just it really does encapsulate Las Vegas in a really fun, easy, family-friendly way. So there you have it, Las Vegas Royale, the regular Las Vegas. Should you get it? Sure. Yes. There you go. Thank you very much. Don't forget to get lost in games. Have yourself a good day. Take care, everyone. Subscribe.